Hey, my name is Michelle. Welcome to my channel. This week, week 4 of our midlife series, I'm going to talk about, it's sort of an expansion of last week. And last week I went into how there really isn't anything wrong when we decide to leave a relationship or a job or any given circumstance in life. We have this way of framing it that something must be wrong if I don't want to be here anymore or be with this person anymore, that it feels wrong suddenly to me, that it feels over. And it's not even about being angry a lot of the time or about feeling bitter and really, really miserable. We often let it get to that. But, you know, the wiser among us kind of start picking up our own signals and saying, gosh, this relationship kind of feels like it's run its course. I've heard people use that term, and I think it's excellent. Things run their course. Everything does. Namely relationships, because people don't stay the same. And not everyone can grow together. That's not meant for everyone. For some, yes, but for many people, this growing in life, this expanding that we are meant to do, is not meant to be with the same person or same people for decades. And culturally, we're not expected to do that anymore. Not really. The guilt and the shame that we, slap on it is on us, and it's often comes from our family or this self-imposed ideal that we adopted somewhere that, if you're going to get married, it's got to be forever. I don't know, those are things that people need to work out within themselves. Where did that come from? Why do I insist, that familiar misery is always preferable to growth and people being able to move on and learn and be with other people and again, expansion. I'm all about expansion in this life. I believe that's why we're here. I don't see the logic or the benefit in the idea that we're just supposed to sort of plateau and then contract. Because that's what happens. We kind of just stick at a spot and it's kind of inevitable that you just your world sort of either stops or actually starts to contract. And that's really painful. It is more painful than stepping out of a situation that you know in your bones no longer suits you. And here's the thing. The people or the person that you are walking away from, and I hope it would be walking and not running. I'm a big advocate of looking people in the eye and having adult conversations about what we're up to. If you're walking away from someone, it's not just about you. Me leaving my marriage wasn't all about me. I got to go find me and have it be all about me. It was very much about my daughter and my husband. He had a right to be with someone who wanted to be with him. Why the hell would he want to be with someone who is faking her way through an entire life? There are people who can't answer that. I've put that question to people and they're like, but, and they want to run to the idea of, but if you made a commitment, you made a commitment. Okay, you made a commitment. And now you can't keep it anymore without wanting to rip your skin off of you, or without wanting to have an affair, or without wanting to, do something else kind of subversive or sneaky. Or, have you met those couples where they're really passive aggressive with one another, and they're mean, but in this shady way? It's so painful to be around. And those are, to me, classic examples of people who are probably really good humans, but are simply staying in a situation that they've outgrown and they are done with. And their souls are struggling, to tell them, look, listen to how you feel, listen to how you feel. There's nothing wrong. It's just time to grow. It's time to move on to something new for both of you. All right? That's kind of what last week was about, and I kind of wanted to expand this week into the idea that beyond it not being wrong to want to move on from someone or something, it benefits both parties in the end, and it's the integrity piece, right? I think everyone likes to know where the other person stands, whether it's a boss with an employee or, a romantic relationship. I'll leave it with this. How many times have you heard a person say to you, after you've sat on a secret for a while because you didn't want to hurt the other person, when it really wasn't about that, you just were scared to open your mouth and you were trying to avoid an uncomfortable conversation, but we'll stick with you didn't want to hurt them. And then they're really pissed and they look at you and say, oh my God, why couldn't you have just told me the truth a long time ago? I think all of us have been in that boat. So I just, again, wanted to expound on that. And to just sort of cap that with, we like to, again, it's a human thing, we like to go to this place of, well then, if I'm not, okay here anymore, if this doesn't work for me anymore, I'm just not feeling good about this, what if the whole thing was a mistake? I mean, if I'd never married him or her, then this wouldn't happen, or this would have happened, or blah, blah, blah. And we make this whole story about why, oh my God, the whole marriage might have been a mistake. And then sometimes, if the relationship is abusive or really, really complicated and really painful for a long time, it's really easy to go to that place. The whole thing was a mistake. I'm going to offer you that it isn't, that it never is, that the most painful exchanges, interactions, and commitments that we have with people are always for our benefit if we take the information that we glean during that time span and integrate it. Okay, I have a propensity for attracting people that treat me badly. Why? I'm putting something out there. Maybe I should address that before my next relationship. I mean, that's gold. And that's where you do serious soul growth, is when you clear up those shadows and those little goblins that rule your life and you don't know they're ruling your life, but they show up in every person you date or in every miserable job you take, or just in even your friends that you attract that really don't feel like friends after a while and again aren't very loyal or good to you. And again, you revisit, what's that about? What am I putting out there? Learning, learning, learning. In the end, there is no mistake ever in who we are with or the things we experience. Some are incredibly painful and some are really joyous, and we like to label things because that's what people do, but never label it a mistake. It just isn't so. Not when you view life as a transformative endeavor, which is what I believe it is. If you don't believe that, then this will be difficult for you, and I guess I'm not your person. But if you do subscribe to the idea of life being about expansion and growth and learning and somehow being a little better than the version of you yesterday, and I mean by better, more aware, more compassionate towards yourself and other people, making choices very consciously as opposed to out of habit. That's what I mean by better. It's what I want for all of us. It's what I strive for every day. You go through your life and just try to, all those exchanges, interactions, relationships, experiences you've had that you want to classify as a mistake because they were painful, it didn't turn out like you wanted, how about repackaging that as just an experience? And boy, look what I know now. And look what I'm not repeating or what I don't plan on repeating. That wasn't particularly beneficial to me. It's a beautiful thing. It's all about us simply blossoming on a regular basis. That's really kind of the goal of being here. It's not just a one-time blooming. It's all the time, transformation after transformation as our evolution just continues, even beyond this lifetime. That's a whole other video. So I will leave you with that. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. Take care.